Welcome back to Afternoon Live. If you'd rather sleep than do anything else in the bedroom, you're not alone. But our next guest says she has ways to bring back that love and feeling. We welcome back sex and intimacy coach Kristine D'Angelo. Great to see you.
Hi, you too.
This is stuff that so many people struggle with, and it can be hard to talk about.
Absolutely.
How much of a factor is your brain versus your body if you're having some lack of intimacy in your life?
It plays a pretty big role. So if we think about where the sex comes from, it starts in the brain.
Okay.
And if there are areas in life that are influencing maybe energy levels, just how you deal with stress, life, being overwhelmed, being a parent, owning a business, all of those things, if you think about stress is the biggest libido killer.
Okay.
So that's one of the first things that you want to start looking at.
Yeah, so many of us have so many different stressors, and is it hard to connect those dots back to your intimate life?
Yeah, I mean, we live in a very task-oriented culture, and I think for some people it's hard to kind of prioritize or move sex or intimacy up on that list when there's so many other things pulling our attention or causing distraction in our lives. And for a lot of couples who are experiencing uneven levels of desire, or maybe even just one specific person in that couple, or even just in life, they're like, hey, my libido is really low, almost gone. What can I do about that?
Are there certain things besides just day-to-day stress that people don't realize, like a certain medication, a hormonal change? I imagine there's all these different things, like we said, that you just don't realize.
Yeah.
They do impact that part of your life too.
There's a lot of moving parts there, right? So stress is obviously one of the biggest things we'll look at. And then also hormonal shifts is a big key player there, and how you feel about your body is also a pretty big player or influencer. And then also we're looking at just the overall integrity of a relationship. How do we feel in that relationship? What's the quality of sex we're having in that relationship? That's going to impact how we feel motivated or demotivated to show up to that.
Let's talk about this concept of having an erotic battery. What does that mean when we're talking about that concept?
So the erotic battery is a term I came up with to just help people understand better how it works, how it can really influence your desire. And there are I think it's important to first kind of talk about the desire types. Spontaneous desire is going to show up more, if I use a food metaphor, it's going to show up more like a microwave. Okay. And responsive desire is going to show up more like an oven. So there's a lot more that goes into eating food that way, right?
Yes.
A lot more steps involved.
That's a great metaphor.
Yes, thank you. So if people understand that, they are then able to say, oh, okay, I'm responsive. Let's talk about that. The erotic battery is really affecting that partner who has responsive desire. So there's a saying in sexology, if you don't use it, you lose it. And we're referring to how often are you waking up your brain in a sexual way. So the battery aspect comes in because if you're actually imagining that you have an erotic battery and it's depleted or getting low, then your interest in sex is going to be decreased. So the more you wake it up, the more interest the brain is saying, ding, 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 something's happening, and it's more readily available, that energy, than if it's depleted.
What are some ways that we can charge it back up if we're feeling kind of hopeless about it?
Yeah, I'd say number one, developing a skill set of relaxation. Is that even possible? A lot of people are go, that if I'm like, how does it feel for you to relax? They laugh. Like,
I'm laughing. That sounds really tough. Oh my gosh.
When was the last time I relaxed? So that's step one. And then once we work on that, we start to weave in what is feeling accessible, what's feeling, what are you feeling invited to explore? Whether that's something you're watching, reading, listening to, fantasizing about, like how are you waking up your brain? And making sure that that resource is fun.
I do have friends that are into those spicy novels that are so popular right now. Is that something that can be helpful in reigniting that desire?
Absolutely. Because when you're involved in that like world that you're reading about, I don't know about you, but when I read those, I'm like, I'm excited to go to bed early because I want to jump back into that world and get excited, right? It doesn't feel like a chore.
Absolutely. What does it look like when someone comes to an intimacy coach? What's that process like? I mean, depending on exactly what they're asking you for.
What do you mean exactly? Like how do I start working with them? It really depends. So people will come see me either individually or as a couple, and I'm really looking for barriers. What's getting in the way of us finding balance, understanding, really developing stronger communication skills about this topic? And sometimes I'm working with a couple throughout the entire duration, and then sometimes I branch off with just one partner and say we got some stuff to work on, and then we weave the partner into that work.
That's really nice. You can kind of adjust to what people need, and it does make sense. Sometimes you need your partner there to support you, and sometimes you just need some one-on-one safe space without the other person there.
Yes, absolutely. And also, you know, one thing I've noticed working with couples versus individuals, when we have that one-on-one time, some more kind of deeper concerns start to come up, and things maybe they've never been comfortable sharing with their partner, and then I can discreetly weave that into our work without directly saying, so your partner said this, you know, and being able to find change through that. And a lot of times I'm challenging people's limited beliefs around just sexual content, erotic resources. What does that mean? What's available to you? What do you feel comfortable exploring versus, oh, I've always been told that was bad, or I shouldn't do that. And just kind of like taking baby steps towards some of those things.
Communication is the best way to start in any of those things. Thank you so much for stopping by. Great to see you.
You too.
Okay, we will have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Light right after this. Thanks so much.
Okay, was that good?
No, you're